I'm ready. Let's do this.
Pretty stoked. Hello, everybody. Welcome to GT Live. I am Brandon Jones. Today, the game we are playing, I gotta look down because I get confused every single time I get the name of this game. J-Stars Victory versus Plus. Which is not J-Stars Victory Versus. That's a different game. We are playing that today. You can see it behind me. We are giving away codes for Smite, specifically the Smite Founders Pack. Mr. Matt Blair is going to be in chat. He's over there on the couch, and he's going to be handing out codes for that. If you are unfamiliar with the Smite Founders Pack, it's really cool. It's every hero in the game, every hero that's going to be in the game, and a bunch of exclusive skins. So if you're into Smite already and you own it, that might be something you might want because it's basically everything that Smite has to offer. We're going to be giving away 10 of those codes to the best questions directed at today's guest, Mr. Brian T. Delaney, who, if you guys are unfamiliar with, is a very famous voice actor and is going to be playing the male lead in Fallout 4, which, as a video game fan, you might have heard about. Possibly getting news right now, Fallout 4. Welcome
correct.
to the show, Brian.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me.
Us. And congratulations on your fantastic book. And that's actually my first question, is I should have congratulated you a year ago? 2 years ago?
2 years ago.
2 years ago.
July 2013, yeah.
So you go to audition for a game. Mm-hmm. Does it say Fallout 4 on the audition thing? Okay.
No. It actually had an original code name called Institute, and that got leaked, so they had to give a new one.
Right.
Which the first code name, they probably racked their brain thinking about. Then they had to think of a new one, so they just picked a random name, something like that. So yeah, I didn't know what it was. As a matter of fact, I didn't know what it was my first day at work. I show up and everybody's just excited, and the first line of the first monologue we do is "War never changes."
Right.
And we do it. And during a break, I'm like, "So can you tell me what the title of the game is?" And then the voice director doesn't want to say it out loud.
Right.
But he says, "Well, you know, the line." I'm like, right, like the line, and I didn't know. So he eventually just slipped it in, and then I kind of like confirmed it and stuff like that. So for the first day, I didn't know what it was.
So at that point, what was your experience with Fallout? Because I actually, I appreciate the game. I play a little bit of Fallout 3, but I actually don't have that much of a history with the series.
I didn't have any history with the series. In fact, my voice director, Kal-El Bogdanov, he gave me an Xbox 360 2 months ago after all the original Quest dialogue was completed, and I went to a local GameStop and I got a $5 Fallout 3, and I started playing it. And my wife was worried; she was concerned. I have 3 kids, so I hadn't played games in a while, and she's like, "Oh god,
the rad scorpions,
yeah, I know, right?
Shots and
So yeah, I start playing it. My mind's blown, and my wife even says, "Listen, I love you, but I don't know how they're going to do better than this."
Right?
I'm sure voicing it will be great.
Well,
but
talking is one thing.
That's one of the things.
That's a huge
but it was
initiative.
just so mind blowing. So, and it affected our family. She watched me play it for 3 days. And we found a cockroach. We open up the underneath the sink in our kitchen, and there's a dead cockroach. She goes, "Oh my effing god, it's a rad roach!" Like,
Yeah.
she never heard of it. She never heard of the game before, but already she has the vernacular. So it was kind of neat.
So did you beat Fallout 3?
No.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm not even. I'm on Moira's. I'm on Moira's 3rd chapter. Like I haven't gotten through. Like I said, I have duties at home that I can't
Well, that was
play.
it. Yeah, that was me in Fallout 3. I put 2 or 3 hours into it, and then another game happened or something.
Yeah.
And it's a huge
It's
commitment.
tough. I plan on finishing it one day.
So you can't fault anyone that a year from now says, "Oh yeah, Fallout 4, you're in that." Yeah, I couldn't finish that game, but good performance. What I played of it, I appreciate.
Not when you can rebuild the entire wasteland. I mean, people are going to be playing that game for 8 to 10 years, so I'm not going to fault anybody.
So we've seen a ton of that game. That game, and it's coming out in November. Hopefully, fingers
November
crossed.
10th.
That's the date that they gave.
That's right.
We were saying earlier, the game looks like it's in pretty good shape so far.
Yeah,
They showed a ton of stuff. We're looking at a little bit of it now.
Oh,
The
yeah.
stuff that they showed a little bit before E3.
Yeah.
For those of you guys that don't know, actually, I just want to fill in a little bit. Your resume, man, in the last couple years, you've had a good couple years.
Pretty good couple of years.
I really when I'll look. We've had some voice actors on the show before, and I'll look at their IMDb page, and there's animation and film and television, and you also are on camera.
Occasionally.
You were just there's some big movie. It's what they.
Well,
it's
actually
the thing they recommend. They're like, Brian T. Delaney, you would know from
Star Trek Into Darkness,
right, yeah.
but I did additional voices on that.
Okay.
I do a lot of voice work just on ADR looping and stuff like that.
So but long story short, so I'll look up games that actors are in, and there's maybe some stuff that our audience won't be familiar with, and then usually about 4 or 5 hot titles down the list, I'll get into like 2012, 2011, like kind of older games that may not be relevant right now. The last 2 years, you've been killing it, man.
I know, yeah.
Fallout 4, Mighty Number 9, Halo 5 Guardians, Batman Arkham Knight, Lego Jurassic World, Battlefield Hardline, Evolve, Call of Duty Advanced Warfare, WildStar, Infamous Second Son, Titanfall, and the reason I brought Wreck-It Ralph to the stage. Is that you're the voice of Ralph in Disney
Yeah,
Infinity.
yeah. It was a good time.
So yeah, that's a good 2 years. That's a lot of
It's
stuff.
pretty awesome 2 years. Yeah.
And as you mentioned, you had featured roles. You're Roland, whoever that ends up being, in
Roland
Halo
in
5 Guardians.
He was in Halo 4.
Oh,
He
okay.
was in Spartan Ops.
Oh, okay.
Primarily
All
in Spartan Ops and like one scene in Halo 4
right.
campaign.
I just exposed myself to the internet of not playing Halo 4. But which
don't know Roland?
Which I'll cop to. No,
The
I'm not
Infinity
familiar with the
AI,
character
man.
But so did you play him in Halo 4 as well? Or did you pick up that role from somebody else, or did you?
In Halo 4?
Yeah.
Yeah. Halo 4,
Okay.
Spartan Ops. I was rolling, and then they brought me back. I didn't die or to go rampant, as
Right.
AIs tend to do.
So this is one thing that we actually haven't talked about with voiceover actors that we've had on the stage before. Is keeping a secret. Because a lot of times the projects that they've involved in, they don't really have anything cooking at the moment. Whereas you're a hot commodity right now, sir. So it's a pleasure to have you on stage. And I have to ask.
Thanks for inviting me.
How do you keep that secret? Was it ever tough? Were there any close calls?
Yeah, especially when you have people say, "Come on, man!" It's like that PSA from the '80s about drugs. Make you feel good,
Right.
good. Just tell me. But it was tough at times because, especially, honestly, it came to a head leading up to E3 because I was so excited and I was bursting at the seams and I wanted to because I knew it was coming, but I thought we'd have to wait till November for them to announce their
Right.
names. So that's when it got really hard. But from July 2013 to today, it was tough at times.
How do you get the thumbs up? In what form does that come? Do you get an email with an embargo date, or does somebody just give you a call and like, oh, by the way, you can say something?
In my experience, when it comes to actors aren't given the green light ever.
Right.
They're always the last to know. Everybody else knows, and then they tell the actors, you can say things now.
Right.
But what's funny is at E3 at Bethesda's booth on the 17th, the second day, I happened to be there at the convention center with a buddy of mine, Jamie Mortellaro. He's a great mocap director, voice casting, and we were hanging out that day. And I had gone the day before with another buddy of mine, and I just happened to be there. My voice director, who's on the other hall, goes, "Yo, they're announcing your names, and they're gonna have you come up on a thing," and I just freaked
No one
out.
told
I'm
you.
like, nobody. That minutes before, Todd Howard just said, "Hey, you know what? We should do this," because it was real last minute. So I show up and I'm waiting behind the thing, the stage thing that they have set up, and then they bring us out, and that was a minute earlier. They announced our names, and it was pretty exciting. It was a great day. I woke up not knowing that was going to happen, so it was cool.
So who is this guy? So obviously this guy that we're gonna play as, if we choose to play as a male character, you can also choose to play as a female character.
That's
which
correct.
was also
Courtney Taylor.
We'll hopefully get Courtney on the show
I
and
hope so.
pick her brain about Fallout.
She's awesome.
Maybe if we manage to book her, I'm bringing you back, and we'll do another. Maybe closer to launch. Maybe in September or October. That'd be really great. Right before the launch.
I accept.
And but I gotta wonder. So you're approaching this character that you can customize him. You can make him really like any ethnicity that you want.
That was pretty cool.
At the
demo, yeah.
And it always when Amanda will go on auditions, like it's really funny, like the descriptors that they'll get. Some people are like very specific about what they want. Some people will just put a celebrity like Angelina Jolie in this movie, just like that. I mean, you really get to create this character, I'm assuming, because there's so many different directions you can take them in.
Right.
So where did you go to inside Brian T. Delaney for the lead in Fallout 4?
Okay. And this is why I gotta edit myself internally so
Right.
I don't spill something as it flows. Well, let me start with my voice director on the job, Kal-El. He really drew from what he saw me do from day one, just my personality. Actually, I'm from Philadelphia, and which I was surprised I got a player job with with having regionalisms just creep in. But he drew on that, being street sounding compared to previous player characters, having like an urban edge and stuff like that. As a matter of fact,
he's a little bit of a smartass. I mean, we've only heard him say about 4 or 5 lines so far.
know, yeah.
Him, I mean you, but
Right.
I mentioned right before we started rolling. I love just like let's go blow some shit up.
Yeah,
Let's go kill some shit.
Throw some shit up.
Yeah.
But inside though, you get all the cool Die Hard type lines on these great demos, and it was kind of put my hairs on end hearing that voice, my voice, come out of that guy. But it's weird because you see the world before the bomb.
Right.
He's a family man. He has a wife, or she has a husband. And,
Right.
And you have a child, and obviously there's things that you draw from. There's images that I had in my head during the whole 13,000 line adventure, as Todd Howard quoted.
Right.
That like all of the lines, no matter how nihilistic the line may sound, it's always rooted, it's always grounded in that reality. I'm a real person with a real family. I see, this is where I want to spill the beans, but I don't want to ruin it for anybody. But that's what was drawn from. I mean, it was just elicited from me by my director, and it was just really awesome. It was just awesome. It's a real guy with real feelings, with a real mission. He always has this internal goal, even though there's always quests that divert, or he needs to do this before he can do that kind of thing. So.
Do you play games a lot?
Not a lot.
Okay.
But I'm going to get back into it because I want this game. I have 3 sons. They'll be 15 years old still playing this game, and they're 5, 3, and 1. So I'm getting back into it. The
3-year-old with the language, I don't know if that'll be.
We can always mute it. I can
mutants.
I know the lines. Exactly. I can just cough during those. So.
You see that stuff when it comes up. So yeah, I mean that's what do you say? 1,300.
13,000.
13,000.
Yeah.
That's a lot of lines. So was that kind of an endurance test? I mean, I know this kind of stuff pans out over weeks and months because it's not all done in one block. Like you actually mentioned before that you still have some work to do.
I still have some work to do, and that's unique about this game, and that's something I wanted to mention because they are really working hard at like really taking their time. From July 9th, 2013, I looked it up. That was my first day of work. July 13th, the day which will live in glory.
Nice.
I'll work 4 hours a day for 4 days in a row, 4 to 5, maybe 6 weeks off, and then back again. And that cycle continued until I think in the middle of this month we have another session.
So one quick question before we head on over to I mean, you're great and all, but everyone's here for J Stars.
I know,
really.
right?
I mean,
why don't we just let's cut this short?
So you have that 6-week, 2-month break. Mm-hmm. You come back. Do they play a little bit for you so you can kind of get back in your head? Is there like an actor that you think of, or like some part of your personality, or like an emotion that you stick to that like you just kind of take a moment? Because I mean, how many auditions are you doing in those 6 weeks?
Yeah.
Well,
it's you just click back in once you're in the room and you have the director's there and familiar faces and engineers. I worked with like 5 or 6 of them and they're all awesome. And once I get back in there, you click right back in. Especially since I'm being as close to myself. I am a father. I am a husband. That kind of thing. So
right, you are a smart ass. So
I am a smart ass at times.
So the game we are playing, we got a full couch over here. Look at Bloodworth, man. It's like leaning over the couch. Leave it to J Stars to pack. I mean, Elyse is here. This is serious business going on.
I heard there was J Star happening. You couldn't hold me back.
So yeah. So are you an anime fan at all? Have you ever been in an anime?
I've never been in an anime.
Okay.
Well, one video game, kind of, but not really. I've never been in an anime show. No.
I saw you were in Lightning Returns. I mean, that's kind of getting in the neighborhood.
I'm getting in the neighborhood, yeah.
But yeah, this is a really crazy, exaggerated. All of your favorite anime stars all colliding together and beating the crap out of each other. Cool. How many new environments have we gotten? So I'm counting 2 so far. Well, no, there was the environment with the vegetables. It was like the vegetable garden.
Yeah. Spoilers.
Oh, sorry.
For tomorrow.
Vegetable spoilers. So who's playing right now? Who's got the control?
I've got it right now.
So we're playing against AI.
Oh yeah, this is the story.
So we're not doing any verses. Is that the goal for our GT Live episode today? We're going to try to get far in the story.
Absolutely. We're on the One Piece storyline right now.
And they are I mean, no, I don't have eyes on me at all from that couch. I mean, it's just everybody's completely wrapped. They're wrapped. Is it the colors? Is it you want to see where the story advances? What is tying you to this game right now?
It's just nonstop chaos. You can't look away. It's like a train wreck.
But a good train wreck.
Yeah.
A colorful train wreck.
Well, right now we're fighting 2 Koro Sensei, who I don't even know who Koro Sensei is.
Right.
Some alien professor with tentacles. What more do you need to know? Right?
Oh, there's pink Koro Sensei.
And he's smiling the whole time.
Yeah, he's very happy to be here.
So combat-wise, what is this similar to, Ben Moore? Like what game can you what skills are you drawing upon when you play this? Is this like, are there Naruto games like this? Are there Dragon Ball games like this?
Maybe a little bit of the Tenkaichi games, but
the Naruto games quite a bit.
Yeah, the Naruto games quite a bit. It definitely feels like those.
That dude's P90X in right now. That's awesome.
It kind of, I mean, if you're completely unfamiliar with this style, it kind of feels like Dynasty Warriors in a way, with a few more options.
The One Piece games are a little bit like this.
Mm-hmm. The One Piece games are, like this, for sure.
So not only is there an adventure mode, but we saw before there's like 4 different adventure stories that you can go into.
Yeah, but we're doing the second one now. And we're kind of spoiling tomorrow, but anyway, we're doing the second one now, and it's the same fights, but with a different dialogue. It's kind of weird.
Well, but yeah, I mean that's something else that you can tune into later on this week at GameTrailers.com. we all sat down to try to absorb this game and understand it, and it seems like it worked. We have a full couch. I would venture to say this is the most people I have seen on that couch since we started doing GT Live. Why is it just like a miraculous day and you guys have nothing to do, or is it literally just Jay
standby
Stars?
for my segment, but okay. Gotta get some fighting in too.
Let's go to the booth, Mr. Ian Hank. Ian, how you doing? How do you feel about anime? Are there any anime shows you dig?
Oh yeah, I mean I like Cowboy Bebop, obviously. Kill la Kill is pretty cool. I don't know. I like various ones. Yeah.
Are you excited about this game? If a free copy of this game dropped in your lap, would you check it out?
No.
What? Because do you like fighting games at all?
Nah, not really. I like Street Fighter, but that's about it.
Just because of like a legacy, just because you have like a history of Street Fighter.
Yeah, grew up playing it more than the other ones. Clay Fighter, when I was a kid, I played that too. But
so we have so much time. So we have 45 minutes potentially to get to the end of the story mode. What are our bets here for how long each of these individual story arcs takes?
Yeah, this probably goes on forever.
I bet this game, no joke, is like 40 hours long for no reason.
Right, because it's the same. Yeah, it's just you're sailing around this area to go to dots, and then
Looks beautiful.
and then you just throw another combination of bad guys into an arena, and then boom, there you go, another fight. That's another 10 minutes of gameplay right there.
It's gonna be like 60% overly passionate monologues, and a lot of like dramatic close-ups.
But there is some voice acting, but it is English subtitles, Japanese language, correct? Is that what we're rocking with here?
They kept it simple because I don't think any of these have ever come to the States before.
Oh, because that's a whole thing, man. Speaking Japanese, like they will record dialogue in Japanese, and then you got to come in,
Right.
and you have to do your English to the pattern of how they spoke Japanese.
I had to do that one time, and it was so incredible because the style was different, the music of the line was different, and I go, do you need me to do the electrocardiogram of the line?
Right.
And I'm like, okay, I'll try and justify it. But it was a challenge. But it's interesting how the acting differences.
So if you had the choice to play something really specific, really technical, lots of retries in the anime world versus doing something like Fallout 4, Fallout 4 would be.
I mean, yes, but I love technical challenges.
Yeah.
I always want one more take, so I don't mind either one actually.
So we got this list here. What was a technical challenge on that list?
Technical.
What was a tough one? Were these roles in the last couple of years all just like right up your alley, or was there any tricky roles on that?
Honest to God, I mean,
it's been a good couple of years. What can I say?
it's been pretty awesome. I gotta tell you, it's just water off a duck's ass. It's just fine. I'll tell you what. Technically, I'll tell you this: Titanfall, the amount of screaming I had to do.
Oh, right.
It's very taxing, but they were generous. They were cool. Friday afternoons, Thursday afternoons. So
end of the last session, right?
Yeah.
You saved that until the end.
It was cool. But yeah, but because here's the thing. There's two ways to do it. It's like people that sing, they hate doing grenade. Like they hate doing it because it thrashes them. I don't sing. I suck at it.
Right.
So I give it everything, and I especially say, hey guys, is it 5 minutes left? Because I can just do a couple of deaths for you if you want. Because I don't work tomorrow and I have the weekend. So, but that's technically the most challenging thing. But the rest of these it's always a blast. And with Fallout 4, I was always energized after 4 hours of doing 300 lines. So it was always cool.
And there's some humor in there, right? I mean, that's not spoiler to talk about humor in Fallout. I mean, it seems like a dangerous world, but there seemed to be a lot of humor in the ads that we've seen so far.
There's absolutely a lot of humor. As a matter of fact, when I would want to, because I'm I'm swimming in these lines, and I would deliver a line real heavy, real hard, and the voice director. Hey, Bri, you just ease back. We have to have some troughs and crests happen, let it go.
But that's what good directors are for.
Yeah, and he was he was my Moses leading me through the desert.
There's no controller in your hand.
No,
you don't know the context.
So yeah, there is a lot of
stuff.
humor. As a matter of fact, I don't know if I'm allowed to say the line. I wonder if I'd get in trouble. There's one line.
We'll play it safe. It's fine.
We'll play it safe, okay. But there's one line that's so insane. And I usually leave it all in the field, but I actually requested to my voice director, yo, ask the Bethesda people, can I have another shot at that one line? 13,000 lines, there's only one that I can't let go. I haven't been able to sleep.
So how's the voice acting in this game, Ben? Are you super familiar with the Japanese voices for a lot of these characters that you can vouch that it's, if not the same actors, it sounds like them?
No, I'm not that familiar, honestly, with them. The Japanese Naruto guy sounds the same.
100% the same.
So
yeah,
and Goku
same.
sounds the same.
Yeah.
Actually, when I was at the Bandai Namco event, that was something they were very proud of this game. I think they got all of the voice actors from the series. So it's pretty cool.
And before we move on to our number 11 segment, who on the couch played Fallout 3?
Oh, I did.
Okay, so we got
Love Fallout.
so we got 4 people. Okay, so yeah, we got Elyse. What the hell, man?
I watched my roommate.
Elyse,
Play
what's up?
most of it.
How do we feel collectively? Just pretend Brian's not in the room. How do we feel about voice acting in Fallout? I mean, what do you need? I mean, is this a dangerous thing? Is it just because we're like unsure of how the whole thing's going to play out that we might be a little nervous about it? What do you think, Ben Moore? Voice acting in Fallout 4.
Oh boy.
On the spot.
I was initially against it just because I had played all the Fallout games and I was so used to that style. But then I saw the E3 presentation and I felt way better about it. And I sort of thought, BioWare for a long time the main characters weren't voiced, and then you had Mass Effect, and how much, despite all of the variations I could do with Commander Shepard, how much of a character that felt like and how attached I was to it as a result. So I'm hoping it's like that. I don't know if that answers your question.
I think that's fair.
Okay.
I was a little nervous about it, and then I met Brian, and now I feel good about it.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
He seems passionate about it.
Can I just really quickly
Sure, of
give
course.
us a footnote to that? It's so interesting. It's Bethesda took such care with what they're doing with adding the voice, knowing that they were going to take things deeper. And I'm telling you, the nuance of the game. There's times where, although you're looking at a text box, you want to say that thing, and you'll get good karma, bad karma, whatever. There's times where you have to, what's written is a lie, to get something that you need. And sometimes a lie for ulterior motives that are not so virtuous, and sometimes it's a lie because the person needs to hear that thing. And that's the kind of thing that they can offer with like a voiced protagonist. So it's pretty cool.
Super interesting.
I'm very excited, and I'm also excited because we're GameTrailers.com, so I love trailers. And that zing when you had your one line, where basically the world was introduced to your portrayal of this character. Come on, pal. That was really great. So that's definitely a moment I will remember for a long time. In the history of trailers. Mr. Daniel Bloodworth is now going to join me on stage. Ben, you can. This would be a good opportunity to hand us these scripts. We're going to be doing some cutscene theater later on in the episode.
Cutscene
Mr. Ben
theater.
was kind enough to.
Sweet.
That's going to be a hot mess. I can't wait for that. All right, so now we do a top 10 every week. This week we're doing a top 10. We haven't done a top 10 in a couple weeks because we had all sorts of crazy E3 stuff happening.
Yeah.
Our last was the top 10 anticipated games of E3 2015. Fallout was, of course, on there. I believe Fallout made the list, right? Anticipated?
Yeah.
We anticipated the hell out of that.
I'm gonna guess. I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. I'll wait for chat to tell me wrong. Oh, by the way, chat was losing it when you were like, "Oh, should I say that line?" I'm not going to. Chat was like, "Do it."
Sorry to disappoint. Sorry.
This week we are doing the top 10 Final Fantasy jobs. Mr. Ben Moore, with his hands in the air, is currently forging his way through the world of Eorzea to get to the end of Heaven's Ward and review that game.
No,
for
to get
us.
to the beginning of Heaven's
To get to the beginning of Heaven's Ward and then get to the end of Heaven's Ward. To experience the breadth of all that Final Fantasy XIV has to offer. Final Fantasy's killing it right now. The series was a little iffy. You were in Lightning Returns. You know what we're talking about. But it's back on the map. And Jobs was one that we talked about to do a top 10. And it's interesting because it's a weird thing. It's like picking favorites, and it's kind of tough to figure out, like, what does that mean? Like what makes a good job? And I think it was really kind of a 50-50 split. Like half of it was just nostalgia. How important is this job to the franchise? And so we definitely favored jobs that have their own distinct visual style that Final Fantasy owns. Really like a lot of the gameplay mechanics, like, are just exclusive to this series. But not only, obviously, if you can imagine, 10 out of all of the jobs have been added to Final Fantasy throughout its life. We could only pick 10. So we didn't just pick one number 11. We have 3 number 11s. I have one, Mr. Bloodworth has one, and Mr. Ian Hank has one. Since you just joined the stage, why don't you talk about Thief?
Yeah.
Mr. Daniel Bloodworth, which seems terrible that Thief did not make the top 10 list, but you'll find out why when you see the list.
Yeah, I mean, what's interesting though when I'm thinking about the jobs is, you have the classic original Final Fantasy, and then you have the games that have the job systems like Final Fantasy V, but then there's so many of these others where like you don't really think about their job until like you just really boil it down to mechanics. So like Thief, like in my mind is Locke.
Oh, of course, yeah.
Final Fantasy VI.
Stealing the clothes is the best. You literally just like hop it. I mean, it's because it's like sprite based, so it's just like characters attacking like sideways, and you literally will like hop onto a guy and hop off, and then the guy's naked. Like, oh, I stole my clothes. It's so good.
And that's just like just a great dimension to the mechanic is you have all of these things that you don't know what the other characters have, you don't know what the enemies have or the monsters or whatever, and you grab it and you find out, and then it just feels even better once you get like the mug or capture upgrade, depending on what game it is, and like you can attack while you're doing that, and yeah, it just feels invaluable. It feels rewarding, and just like all these little hidden secrets in a way.
Merlin's in the house. Has a Monk shout out in chat for Mike Huber. Mike Huber, Monk shout out in chat.
Monk.
Huber's feeling out, baby.
Yes.
And that's all I will allow him to say on the subject. We'll move to Mr. Ian Hank, who is a huge fan of a little game in the Final Fantasy universe called Tactics.
Yeah.
And there is a class that you super dig called
The Calculator.
Yeah. Which you wouldn't think a calculator would be fun.
It's
Most people play video
hilarious.
games so they don't have to deal with calculators.
Yeah.
But calculator's pretty fun. I never got deep enough into Tactics to experience the calculator. Also because Tactics is like a 400-hour game.
Yeah.
But
well, the funniest thing about here's a picture. Nope, that's not a picture. That's you guys. Here's a picture. The funniest thing about the calculator is that you can just grind it up earlier in the game and then just destroy everyone because it uses math.
You look like you're wearing like a bomb suit or something.
Yeah, probably. Calculators are the thing of the calculators is they're hilarious. Calculators are hilarious, but they're also like one of the deadlier classes if you do them right, because you can do like things that end in like odd numbers or prime numbers or whatever, and then hit anyone on the field that matches those criteria regardless of where they are. So if you hit the right criteria, you can just kill all the enemies in one go. And if you grinded and cheat to buff your calculator.
But you didn't do that, right, Ian?
Oh, of course I did.
You had the utmost respect for the game developers, and you wanted to play that game the way it was intended.
Yeah,
I guess
they
that was
intend
intended
you to-
that way.
Yeah, they intend
Well,
you
you
to
use the
grind
word
out your
cheat, but you're not
calculator.
like cracking code or something.
No,
You're
no,
just...
no. It's just
You're just
like
calculating.
That's not cheating in RPGs. That's what RPGs are all about, right, Ben? You just level them up like Bravely Default, just 999s across the board.
That my favorite thing in RPG is
that
seeing
cheating?
9999. Yep.
Grind it out.
grind it all out. Calculator.
That's why I love playing Fallout Shelter, and I drop somebody in like the classroom for intellect, and I'm like, "You're never leaving this room." Like, they literally people just go one room to the other. It's like I'm working out all day. That's all I'm doing. Like, sorry, grinding stats. That's why I'm gonna play Fallout 4. I'm just gonna make your character just run around killing rad scorpions.
Do it.
So I will not claim that the job that I like is as interesting or cheat worthy as Calculator or as classic and iconic as Thief. But I'm a big fan of Beastmaster. I played a lot of Final Fantasy XI, and I really had a lot of fun with that class. And obviously, I made the transition from Final Fantasy XI into.
Oh, we're on the vegetable stage.
Oh, here you go. Here's your vegetables. Okay, yeah. Beastmaster's one thing, but
Wait, hands on
we
a
are writing
skirt.
a motor.
So healthy.
So this guy's from Bleach, right?
No.
No, he's not from Bleach. What's he from?
Some weird anime that I don't know anything about.
He's got a Bleach-esque sword, though. Or is that like a stick? Is that like a bamboo stick?
I mean, he does have similarities.
So
but
that's
that's
his
not
sprint,
surprising.
is his little
The-
bike?
the bike is hilarious, though.
Oh, man. Yeah, it's... Boy, what a distracting game. That's what we like to do. We like to play games on GT Live that just completely interrupt conversations. But yeah, I like Beastmaster because Beastmaster could run out in the environment, pick a beast. Boy, how fun would that be in Fallout 4 if you could like grab a scorpion, just like, all right, you're coming with me, and then
No, I can't
that would be
speak
your
to.
that would be your little buddy. I want details, man.
I know. I'm sorry. Just the
He's got like a
dog.
little beard in Final Fantasy V too, right?
The Beastmaster in 5. Yeah, I can't. Was there a specific character? Or was that just? It
No,
just
you can put
it
that on-
put a beard on you.
I
when you
think
switched
it
to
might
the
have put a
class?
beard on anybody. I think so.
Even the women, they got a little beard.
I could be getting that wrong, but I think it might be.
But yeah, and obviously, 3 and 5 and 10-2 and 11, of course, and 14 were like the big job games in the Final Fantasy series. But yeah, it was just a natural transition going to World of Warcraft and playing as Hunter and being like, oh, I can do the same thing. Hunters are Beastmasters, essentially, in World of Warcraft. Ranged Beastmasters. But I really dug that class. I would not have argued for it to be on the top 10, but as long as we're all getting our personal picks, and I'm hosting this damn show, I'm going to talk about Beastmaster. Any other? So we got Monk there. Brad, any other classes you want to lament? Any other deep cuts? Samurai, I know didn't make the list.
Time Mage.
Time Mage. is a
Time
good
Mage.
one.
Time Mage from
Time
Tactics.
Mage.
And I don't think 11 ever got Time Mage, did they? They gave Red Mage some time-ish abilities. I don't know
Yeah,
if
I
it
don't
ever
think they made
specifically
it.
got time mage. But I mean, just you have to explain calculator a little bit, but time mage is like obvious. You can stop things dead in their tracks, slow them down. Definitely a fun class, but compared to the other mages, and believe me, there are some mages on this countdown list on Friday. It is definitely mage dominated, no question. So yeah, tune in Friday. Actually, no, I lied. I was a big fat fibber. Mr. Matt Blair, genius programming director of GameTrailers.com. We're going to be switching countdowns to Sunday. Sunday evening or Sunday morning? Sunday morning? Sunday morning. You can expect our countdowns from now until forever. You usually watch them on Friday, so I'm sorry, Brian. If you're going to tune in on Friday, it's not going to be on Friday. It's going to be Sunday morning.
Come on,
Top 10
Matt.
Final Fantasy jobs. You got a little tease, possibly, of stuff that's going to be on the
Mr.
list.
Blair.
It'll still be there on Monday.
So yeah, check that out this weekend. Top 10 Final Fantasy jobs. It is now time for a badass trailer. You wouldn't think that there would be... Actually, this week, there were not many badass trailers. So I got to go back. I got to take us back in time a couple weeks. So we spent all of E3 week talking about all of these hot trailers that were coming out during E3. But there was a really cool trailer that came out 2 weeks ago that really was not associated with E3, but it was released, and I don't think they showed it at the PC gaming event. And this is the trailer for World of Warcraft, Warlords of Draenor, patch 6.2, The Fury of Hellfire. And I just got to give a shout out to Blizzard because when they do patches for games, they bring it. I had to dig to find this trailer, because it's like there's the patch trailer that goes through all the environments. There's the patch trailer that explains like a little docu thing where they talk about, like the ideas that they had for the patch. And what you're about to see is a story-driven trailer. Maybe you can clue us in a little bit, Ben, on the characters that we're looking at and the what's going on in this trailer. But it's pretty badass considering it is just a patch. It is just something free you're going to get with a subscription to World of Warcraft. Fury of Hellfire. Wow, check it out.
You were to be the first, Hellscream. You were destined to be my greatest champion. And instead, you chose this. You have no vision. Behold, what a true seat of power demands. A citadel of hellish fire worthy of my masters. A monument to entomb the souls of all who would dare to defy us.
They will defy you. I have seen their forces in battle. They are fearless. It does not matter what vile creatures you summon to the battle. They will persevere. Their resolve is unbreaking. They will come. They will fight. And they will wash their blades of your blood in victory.
Fight if you must, Hellscream. It is no matter. In the end, we all serve the Legion.
Do you recommend I look at the screen or look at this or both?
Look at this.
Okay.
Oh, we're back. Hey, whoa.
Hey now.
We got cutscene theater coming up, so we were just planning.
Yes.
I just want to bring up a point, though, that Swordfish, I believe, brought up in chat. That he was like, I love how the character is talking over the gameplay, where he's like, you're gonna go into this temple and there's gonna be all these bosses, and then you see the bosses. But like, that's why I love it. That's why I love these trailers. And one of my favorite ones, because I was so into Rash of the Lich King. That's a different expansion.
Rash of the Lich King. Nice.
You remember that was his father that like came to him, and all of the souls of all the people he killed surrounding him, and then like you went through Ice Crown. I got chills, when that patch trailer came out.
No expansion is ever going to be better than
So are you pumped? But you were into Draenor. You gave Draenor
it
a
was
good
awesome.
score. Are you
It was
into this
awesome.
patch? Did that get you pumped?
Yeah,
for
he was into this patch.
I want to be into this patch. I don't know when I'm going to be able to play it, but I would love to. I miss World of Warcraft a lot.
So yeah, so it is time once again for Cutscene Theater. This is the third time that we've done this.
Hope I don't break it.
I'm going to be joining. I have not done Cutscene Theater. I was not here for the second Cutscene Theater. That's when Kyle hosted the show. Yeah. But I'm going to jump in here, and we are going to be reading scenes from the original Fallout. So Mr. Ben Moore was kind enough to play the beginning of Fallout. We're going to do two scenes: the introduction to the game, and then the introduction to the character Aradesh. Again, I did not play the original Fallout, so
who is Aradesh? Do we need to know?
He's just a dude that you talk to, you know.
Just a dude.
Did you ever get that when you were working the thing? You're like, who's this guy? And they're like, I don't know. He's just a
dude.
guy.
I've gotten just the dude.
He's got a mustache. Work with it, Brian.
You
Come
like
on.
him? Male, even toned. Go.
Right. Okay. Good. So again, we have not rehearsed this. I apologize if this is a little rough around the edges, but that'll probably make it even better.
Yeah.
So here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Cutscene Theater for the original Fallout.
Tell me when to start. Or will it show?
You go. Hold on. Here we go. There you go.
Ah. Good day. I am called Seth. How can I help you?
I'd like some information.
Information? What do you want to know about?
I want to know about this place.
Shady Sands is a peaceful community. We have our own irrigation system so we can grow our own food. If we were not plagued with raiders and rad scorpions, we would have no problems.
I want to know about the rad scorpions.
Those damn rad scorpions have been after our Brahmins since we moved here. Not a week goes by that someone doesn't get poisoned trying to keep them out of the pens. Last week they took my brother, Jarvis. Raslo, our doctor, is looking for an antidote as quickly as he can. Hey, if you have the means to help us, why don't you talk to our leader, Aradesh?
I want to know about the raiders.
There are several groups of raiders. I organize guards like Ian, right over there, to help fight them off. There is one band to the southeast of here. Watch out for them.
Wait for it. Nothing else, thanks.
You should speak to Aradesh, our leader. He likes to meet all of our visitors. He should be in our town hall, the building to the south. Do we have Aradesh? There we go.
He's going to come. You're going to see a big face come up. And
oh, there he is. Greetings! Your business in Shady Sands might be?
I'm from a small village west of here. I'm just exploring and mean you no harm.
I know of no village to the west.
Have you been through the mountains west of here?
Well, to my regret, I have not. Which begs the question, how did you make that passage?
It was pretty tough, but I made it.
Yes. Yes, I shall believe you. For now. But we do not trust easily, especially those who might be dangerous. Know that Seth and I will be watching you.
Can you tell me about Shady Sands?
Shady Sands is much like a family, one that keeps to itself.
What kind of things do you have around here?
The gardens are on the south side. The Brahma pens are north, although the smell is, I fear, quite intense this time of year.
Anything else?
We are small and self-sufficient, so there is little else to tell.
Thanks. Can I ask you a few more questions?
Certainly! What do you wish to know?
What can you tell me about the other towns around here?
Junktown lies south of here, though there is little in the way of visitation. From stories, I'm certain there are cities south of that.
Thanks. Can I ask a few more questions?
What do you wish to know?
What's going on around here?
Oh my, yes. Great packs of rad scorpions are killing our herds. We don't know where they're from, and no matter how many we killed, there's always more.
Go on.
And now, the monsters are attacking my people! Raslo is trying to find a cure for their poison, but I'm not sure how it goes.
I can help you for a price.
As Dharma said, those who tend their own flock know the shepherd.
I know it's hard for you to trust, but I would like to help.
Yes. Please talk to Raslo. He possesses far more information on these creatures than I. Well done.
Yes.
I can work with you now.
So obviously they did a little bit more work with the player dialogue in Fallout 4. Did you ever get? I mean, I love like.
What did you say?
I love like. Oh, thanks. Can I ask a few more questions?
I know. Yeah.
Did you ever get stuff like that?
They really smoothed out. They spackled over those moments a little bit better. Yeah. Actually, it's funny in the gameplay demo when the Vault Tech salesman comes to the door, and remind me again. Like that happens a lot.
Okay.
And I actually say like there's death or destruction or some sort of thing, and I got to go back to somebody, and they're like telling me like these personal things, and I actually have the line like, I'm sorry, what was that again? And I go to my director, Cal, what do I do with this line? And he goes, justify it. Listen, just be real apologetic that you forgot. And then that's how
You're the hero, man. I mean, that's.
I have
there's
other
one
things to
allowance.
do.
If you're going around solving everybody's problems,
I know,
that's
right?
one allowance that you can offer the main character.
You'd think so. You'd think so. But it was cool. Yeah, they did really well with that.
That's the thing about celebrity in the apocalypse. Everybody wants to be remembered, but you know, there's just not.
They're electing you overseer. It's so much.
So that voice right there.
Oh, yeah.
Did you get a chance to do that in Fallout
Not at
4?
all. No. I
that-
do other lines. There was one chance I got to do this real coked up berserker goofy line because I went mad or something for a second. But yeah, that's as hot as I get.
Is that from something else? Is that a character you did for?
It's
for
probably
another
a
project?
conglomeration and composite of everything I've ever heard my whole life.
Did you have that prepped? You know, did you read the script beforehand and you were like, okay, I'm definitely
Never saw-
going flamboyant on this? Or when
No.
the guy's face popped up, were you like, oh, okay?
I honestly just thought like he's the leader. What's the least leadery kind of thing that can happen? I just was going for the opposite. And as a matter of fact,
yeah.
I never saw one line before I was staring at it in the session, so I never got back.
Timing wise, so it was a little. Sometimes we were ahead of it. Sometimes we were.
Oh, I'm
behind
sorry.
It,
Yeah,
but that is the
I was
fun
just reading the.
of doing cutscene
Yeah.
theater, and I enjoyed it. Thank you for letting me.
I
be part
had
of
a great
it.
time working with you, pal.
So I love you, Blood, but I'm gonna swap you out.
Wait,
I'm gonna
your
swap
name is
you out.
Daniel Bloodworth, by the way?
Yes.
That is a badass name.
Isn't it badass?
I couldn't let you leave before Bloodworth. As Bloodworth said, I'm like, is that his like gang name? That's a
Yeah.
cool name. Like, no, that's Daniel Bloodworth. Nice to meet you, Daniel Bloodworth. That's awesome.
All right, Daniel Bloodworth, get the heck out of here. I'm going to bring up Mr. Matt Blair to the stage, who looks busy. You look occupied right now, Matt.
He's very serious. Uh-oh.
Are you wrapping up the rest of the questions? So Matt Blair. Well, you know,
should
we
we
don't
riff?
have to rush into this segment, but because I got plenty of questions to ask you. But Matt Blair's going to come up and he's going to ask some questions that were offered by our chat.
Cool.
Of course, they're going to be getting 10. One person's only going to get one code. We're going to be giving away 10 codes for the Smite Founders Pack, which if you guys missed is pretty cool. It's like everything in Smite. It's like skins and characters old and new, like characters that aren't even in Smite yet. You will get with this code,
Very cool.
graciously given to us by the people from Smite who were scheduled to come by during E3, but of course everything goes wrong during E3, and so they weren't able to come by. But they gave us the codes for their appointment during E3, and they let us give those codes out. So. Hopefully some
Try
of you
not to
guys
get
get
in your
these
shot.
awesome codes.
Say that again?
Try not to be in your shot right here.
You be in the shot, man. We're family here at Game Trailers.
So let's do it. Hit me. Give me some good
so
questions.
this seems like kind of close to the most questions codes we've given out. So we might have to do a little bit of rapid fire, but
Nice.
I'll try to
Let's
get
do
through
it.
them as quick.
Yes. No. I don't know.
Okay. Great. One word answers only.
One word answers.
Yeah. Okay. So starting and probably sticking with Fallout for a little while, obviously. Are there any difficulties specifically with working with an open world game that you would like to share? This question is from one last word, by the way.
Difficulties, open world. I mean, because there was such an emphasis on player choice, player freedom, and stuff like that. Like I'd have to do this one thing. I wish I could say. I'd have to do this one thing and do this real virtuous thing to this sweet person in the wasteland, and then you got to do like another choice, and it's like the last thing you want to say to this poor person. That was like emotionally difficult, but it was pretty cool the way they justified it.
Very good.
that
Moving
answers
right
your
on down the
question.
line. From Tongue Surgery, a GT
Tongue
favorite.
surgery.
Yeah, we got good names.
That is a cool handle.
Have you ever had to do simultaneous voice acting and motion capture for a game? And do you think that this is the future of all acting in games?
I have, and I do.
Yeah.
I mean, it would be pretty difficult with a Fallout type game because I talked about it early on.
Sure.
Can't we have the people in the room? And that would be such a monstrous scheduling and data issue that it's not going to happen necessarily soon with like a Fallout game. But I think it's going to be the future, especially games like look at Last of Us.
Yeah.
I mean that game.
Yeah. And at the very least with facial capture.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And there was some facial capture done for Fallout 4, especially obviously with that mirror scene. We're going to be tweaking that too with facial stuff.
Okay. Sorry, sifting through.
Is that another handle, or is that just what you're doing?
No.
Okay.
It could be.
But a good one.
Tongue surgery.
Okay.
That was cool.
Can I take this second to just say something?
Sure.
Please.
Go, baby, go.
If you're noticing a lot of weird things happening, like wrong lowers and weird things, the TriCaster is freaking out right now. No, it really is. It's like playing all the DDRs on its own over and over again, and I can't make it stop. So who knows what's gonna happen?
That's awesome.
Yeah. Anyway, I just thought I'd mention that in case something really weird goes on.
We make no judgments out loud.
Continue.
That was absolutely
The TriCaster's flustered, Brian. It's so happy that you're here. It
Oh.
doesn't even know what to do with itself.
Oh.
This actually happens every week, and we just
Does it
make
really?
the excuse.
Right,
every
yeah,
time,
yeah.
This never happens.
Yeah. What is it like working with Bethesda and doing video game VO compared to any other project?
Bethesda is awesome. And I'm not just saying that because they've hired me. I mean, this project, I've never been a part of anything of this magnitude. It's been a great time. They're awesome. There's always a developer on the horn, you know, while I'm doing my session and stuff like that. They're all awesome. And to me, video game VO, which is my bread and butter, you know, financially, it's also the best time. It's the best time, and I love it. So, yeah.
We can thank Luke Skywalk 122 for that question.
Awesome. Thanks, Luke Skywalker.
I have a quick little interjection I'm curious about.
Go, baby, go.
I completely forgot the name of the female actress who was joining you in this game.
Courtney Taylor.
Courtney Taylor.
Who's stupendous in
I
it.
got to commit that one to memory.
Do it. Get her on.
When did you get her name? When did you find out that she was doing that? And would it have interested you? Would it have interested you to talk to her and kind of be like, hey, what's your take on the character? Or is it better to just like, let's just be separate, and then after the game comes out, we'll get together, we'll party, we'll talk about the whole thing.
I asked early on, way early on, day 2, like, what's the name of the actress? They told me. I looked her up. She's, you know, Jack in Mass Effect 2 and 3,
right.
and she's got a healthy, beefy resume. She's also awesome. The thought comes into my mind, can I hear what she did on this, or can we meet up for coffee? But my director says, you know what? Don't worry about that right now, whatever. I didn't even meet her in person for a year and a half.
Sure.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
So, but as it turns out, she's pretty cool. So, yeah.
Very nice. Okay. Moving on to more philosophical and general questions.
Philosophical.
Ooh, yeah.
Okay.
Here we go.
Carl Carlston wants to know, what is your proudest moment in voice acting?
Booking this job.
Heyo.
Booking booking Fallout 4. I mean, yeah. I mean, that's a hard question. Wow.
It is.
That was an answer. You don't have to find the right answer.
Should it sound more philosophical? It's booking this job. I mean, it was just a great job. I have a lot of love for Halo 5 and Halo 4. That Halo 4 was my first mocap job, and getting to use my whole body, my face, and everything. That was a great time. But I have to say, Fallout 4 right now is like takes the top of the list.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
All right.
This is uh-oh, you're laughing.
All right. Eric Estrada 12.
Eric Estrada 12, a chip. Okay.
If you could become in real life a character that you had voiced, which one would you choose?
They all live difficult lives.
They do.
That's the thing. I don't even, you know, Fallout 4 is coming out. I love everything about it.
Yeah.
Wouldn't want to, when
Yeah.
you play
Yeah,
a game,
exactly.
nobody wants that guy's life in reality, per se.
Wasteland, really? Not feeling it?
Not
just
the
go there and
Wasteland.
game.
Not a vacation
Brad
spot?
Roach meat tastes awful.
Right.
If I had to answer, this is going to be the weirdest answer, maybe. I love Roland.
Okay.
Roland is just, he only lives 7 years, though. So, but yeah, he's just such a fun character. He's an AI, but he's passionate. He's a little bit crazy, a little off the cuff. He's snarky and smart-assy a little bit. But he's passionate about the team and the Spartans, and he loves his captain. And I don't know. I love that character. So,
Cool.
and he's an AI.
Okay. Seraphim Bahamut 79,
Cool.
another regular.
Yep.
All these guys are regulars. They're fantastic.
Awesome.
If you could work with any actor, voice actor, otherwise, living or dead, what would be your first pick?
Like actor, or just voice actor?
Anything.
Anybody.
Yeah, I would just say
Opening the
actor.
doors.
Yeah, let's open that door. up.
Okay, actor.
Because voice actors are actors.
True.
Oh, wow.
And you do on-camera work as well.
Some, yeah. Good Lord.
Any childhood heroes?
The list, there's not one. I mean, I've when I was a kid, I've always, you know, my father was a big fan of The Godfather. I wanted to work with Marlon Brando in the past. Robert De Niro, Al Pacino, Tom Hanks was always a favorite. Actually, you know what? He's passed away. May he rest in peace. I've always it would have been awesome to play with Robin Williams.
Yeah.
Oh, sure.
And he is, I mean, voice actor extraordinaire, stand-up comedian. But you know, in that chance is now gone. So.
Sure.
And still has movies. He still has.
And he's got a movie coming out.
One
Yeah.
movie still coming
Isn't
out.
that crazy? Yeah.
That guy was working a lot.
He was, moving.
All right.
Bringing it down.
Bringing it. Sorry. R.I.P. Robin Williams. I love him.
Well, let's bring it back up. Here's
Let's
a
bring
fun
it back
one.
up. Fun one.
Here's a fun one.
Somebody
a bit
make
of
a
jab.
fart noise or something, please.
This one's a bit of a jab. It's from the Bear Jew 173.
The Bear Jew.
How does it feel to steal a job from Nolan North and Troy Baker?
Okay, stealing is not the right word.
How does it feel to win?
Winning. It's funny when I booked the job, the first thought that came to mind, and my wife says, "Hey man, don't talk like that. You got the job. They chose you. Whatever." Like, wow, I guess they weren't available. Troy and Nolan weren't available, or maybe they were out of the country when they were planning this. But it was really sweet. Kal-El Bogdanov said something sweet. Hey man, you know what? They were looking for something a little bit different. You have a different sound to your voice, a different edge to your voice. I don't think it's a coincidence that they're based on the East Coast.
Sure.
They're based 2 hours south of where I was raised, so I don't know if that had something to do with it or not. But Steele, hey man, I did the audition one day at the office at CESD. Go CESD, you're awesome.
Yeah.
And I just did the audition. I've auditioned for a dozen player characters before. Didn't think I was going to get this one. And then Pat Brady calls me up. You got a call back for this. Do good. Call me back. And I just did it again, and it was just I heard the music of the lines. I said it, and I didn't think I'd get a call. So, but Troy Baker and Nolan North, they're heavy hitters. I'm fans.
Congratulations, then.
Thank
by
you.
the way.
Thank you.
All right. Finally, from Rennie B. Hi.
Oh, nice.
Can you go back
gal.
and play the games that you voiced?
Nepotism.
And have you ever been shocked at how a scene actually looked or turned out when it was done?
There's been so much. Actually, Halo 4, Spartan Ops, I was like, holy crap, that looks pretty badass. When I had one scene. Remember they did that, it was like a 10-episode DLC. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And I got highlighted for like 2 minutes, and it was just like, holy shit, that looks good. That was kind of cool to hear my voice coming out of that coolness that came out of that game. So that was pretty cool.
A definitely cool looking game. I jumped right into the Q&A, and we didn't go back to the couch. How are we doing on this game?
Back to the couch.
Not to steal your thunder.
No.
How?
A lot of mashing.
Progress. Are we in a new environment?
We're square to win.
Yeah.
I'm seeing this environment a lot.
What's up?
I think this has been this and the vegetables. I think are the only two places that we visited.
Yeah.
And they're only done hour one of a 40-hour game, right?
So how are we? Are your opinions changing about this game? How are we? I don't know. How are we feeling?
Win, Jones.
It's not very complex.
Square to win.
It's okay.
Yeah.
What's the name of the guy with the P90X body? Who is that character? He's making me feel weird. I'm having weird feelings.
The guy we're controlling right now, or
there's this dude that pops in at the side. He just looks like he's like.
Well, that's anime, dude.
Yeah.
That's everybody.
Just so awesome.
Anime characters have muscles.
There he is. There's our friend.
His name's like Ace.
With a
trust
cowboy
me,
hat.
He is the most reserved character that you'll see here.
Is that
I think.
right?
Probably pretty close, yeah.
How could he not be?
Yeah, he's in the world of anime. That guy needs to hit the gym. That guy's not. That guy's not even bringing it at all.
Is that really?
Yeah, he's got He clearly has much
Come on,
work to do.
make an effort, people.
So is this the character right here? Is this character for the win? I'm seeing this person being played as a lot. Or have you just been in this match for the last half an hour?
We just keep
Story.
picking him accidentally, I think.
Yeah.
There he is again.
They're not changing it up.
He's pretty OP.
Aren't they all OP?
Yeah.
At the beginning of the game?
It's kind of their thing.
The entire game.
That's
Did
how
you
this game
start-
works. Everyone's OP.
Did you start a new game, or is this? Did you continue from the game that we
New
were playing
game.
New
before?
game. New path.
The One Piece storyline.
They do start with enough power to burst through giant vegetables, so, take it as you will.
Right.
I have a question for Brian, and I
Bring
mean
it.
this in the best way possible. Can you do a Mr. Incredible from The Incredibles? Because I would cast you in a live-action Incredibles as Mr. Incredible.
You'd cast me as a live-action Mr. Incredible
Yeah,
for The
I think
Incredibles?
Yeah, I think you'd be awesome.
Have you ever thought about becoming a casting director for film?
I'm considering it right now.
Okay, do it. I'll take this. Yes, I accept. I'll take that booking from
At
anybody.
least we're getting Incredibles too. That'll be nice.
Yeah,
Hopefully the
Incredibles
whole.
I have to
whole
confess
team's
something.
coming
Can I share one story that's kind of like a Pitfall story? My
Bring it.
wife
You were
just
in
texted
Pitfall?
me. No. Although, right? They
Right.
should. She goes, Master Manus, my shining achievement. The first voiceover gig I booked was a voice match for Seth Rogen as Master Manus in the Kung Fu Panda video game. And I was less than good.
Okay.
And what sucks is I was so excited about it. I was so nervous, and I went into the booth. I seized up so much. I think I booked the job because there's how there's people that can do. Everybody has a walk-in, but it's usually one or two words.
Right.
Like wow.
Yeah.
Well, I only could do 2 Seth Rogen-ese things.
Right.
And it's okay and sorry. And I think I booked the job. I think I booked the job because I said those 2 words.
Those are the
I can't
perfect
say
words.
anything else as him. And it was just like I'm in the thing and I'm just doing it and I'm like it's funny. I did the line. I did the okay part. Fine.
Right.
But everything else just sucked air out of the room. And they go mute, and I look at through the fishbowl, and I'm behind the mic, and I'm like, they're like discussing, and they have me do it like over and over and over again, and I'm just start sweating. And I'm like, oh God, it doesn't sound at all like him. And I leave that day, and I go home, and I tell my wife, and I'm like about to cry. I'm never gonna work again. Like it was just that. And it was fine. It was fine. There wasn't that much dialogue. It was fine. But my wife needed me to tell that story because that was like,
You're not getting out of this room.
yeah. You know, if I went home, she'd be like, "What's the matter? Afraid of failure?" You know. So yeah, that was my first job.
So she's a huge support. Is basically what you're saying. Your
She-
wife is there for you.
It's support for an
thick and
actor.
thin.
You need that kind of support because you don't want your
sure.
head too far in the clouds.
Yeah.
She drags me down. Like if I'm like up, she's like down here. No, like you need to stay down on the ground. So.
So
But
you're gonna have Fallout 4. You're gonna be there with your sons. You're gonna be playing the game, and
Yeah.
every time she makes a pass to the living room, she's gonna make some.
I have
crass
to mute
comment
it.
or something.
Yeah, that. Yeah, you know. Do our sons know any new words today? You know, that's what she'll probably say.
I mean, so awards are coming up this year. For games in general.
Okay,
They,
yep.
they give awards for performances in video games.
Mm-hmm.
Is that something you've ever aspired to? Is that something that you think about? Is it bad to think about?
No actor ever thinks of getting awards.
Well, I mean, but based on what you do. So say when you were in that era of doing voice matches and stuff like that, that's not necessarily something that you thought you would be up for.
yeah,
But now it's
especially given my work, I'm not getting nominated for anything
but
right now.
I mean, you are in one of the this could be game of the year. I mean, you're in one of the games that people are really really excited for. That's gonna end up at the top of the heap that people are gonna be talking about for awards. From technical to music to voiceover performances and stuff like that.
Indeed.
Are you upset that I possibly put this thought in your head, or is it just like I don't know anything about that?
No, I mean it wasn't at the forefront of my mind. It's something that pops up when behind the voice actors put out their awards, and there was a lot of people that I know like, oh, good for them and all that stuff. There's too many. It's one of those things where this game is unique in one aspect at the very least, is when you play, if you choose the male protagonist, you can play the game all the way through, 100 hours, 50 hours, 400 hours. You'd be depriving yourself if you did not play with Courtney Taylor's voice. And if I were to get nominated or win anything, and like she wouldn't be on the same line, it would feel weird.
That was highly insensitive of me to ask that question. I didn't think about that.
It wasn't insensitive. No. But like,
excellent point. Yeah.
This game, it's if somebody says it's a 100-hour game, then it's 200 hours because you really need to play as the female protagonist.
And that's such a fun, cool thing that we get in video games. There's never there's no TV series that's coming out. It's like, well, did you get the male version of that TV series or the female version?
Right.
And just fun that we get to make that decision. And you're okay with the fact that if people just pick Courtney right out of the gate, you're just like, I didn't exist for you at all in that game.
Absolutely.
Except for your crazy coked out character and your other random appearances.
Right. I mean, if you want to play as the female and you never visit the male, that's why player choice and player freedom is a part of that franchise. I mean, it's your prerogative.
Right.
I got asked on Twitter a couple days ago, which had never happened. I've only been on Twitter for 7 or 8 months. But then when this announcement happened, they start asking questions. It's what do you think what do you want me to name you, and what do you want me to make you look like? And I'm like, guys, no.
Yeah.
It's you. You're appropriating
I'm
my
making them
voice
look
maybe.
exactly like you, Brian.
Just do my nose. It is such a cute nose, isn't it? But yeah, it's really it's up to them, and that's the beauty of it. Like I voice you, I don't voice me.
Right.
So it's your choices that you make. So
It's deep. And you're good on questions, right?
Yes.
Because I got one more. Because I'm. Oh wait. Okay, let's go to Elyse first.
Sorry.
I love that Incredibles thing. Please
I love the
diversify.
Incredibles.
What other movies can you put him in?
Yeah, put me in 10. I'll take it.
I'll come back with a list.
My babies need
tomorrow.
food.
Have you ever run into one of the actors that you've done ADR for them? Run into Seth Rogen? Have you ever?
No.
Oh.
And I'd be embarrassed to say I did that.
Yeah.
Actually, I did. I've done Channing Tatum so much. I've done 3 or 4 movies of Channing Tatum, ADR, fight efforts, that I'd love to just meet him, just to say,
just to kick the shit out
thank
of
you
him.
for those residuals and
Yeah.
not being available for ADR.
Right.
But yeah, I haven't met anybody yet. No.
My final question is, just because I brought him up, did you know you could do him? Did you see this movie and be like, oh hey, that's one of my guys?
I loved the movie. I didn't know I could. I just auditioned like anything else, and I think, like I said, you know how there was that hook with Rogan. And by the way, John C. Reilly got me back to Seth Rogen because I was pushing one aspect of John C. Reilly's performance so much that it sounded the whole time like Seth Rogen.
Right.
Ain't that ironic?
Right.
But I think there's one syllable or one consonant sound that I could do that really was the hook that I would always say before I would do every line. I see Felix up there, like there. John C. Reilly has that there, that Chicago Midwestern-y cool thing. And I heard it and I'm like, oh, I hope I get this. I can do that thing. And I got it and it was cool.
But isn't that weird, on your own ears? Do you rely, I mean, speaking of your wife who gives you a hard time, do you rely on her a lot?
By the way, my wife's going to kick my ass. She's a lovely woman, and she's not going to say anything mean.
We are live.
We
There's
are
no
live.
editing here.
Yeah, see if she's cursing me
here it
out.
comes.
Oh, there she
We're
goes.
only saying
nice.
we're saying you
Sorry,
deserve
baby.
it is what we're saying.
Okay.
That's
No,
the
thank you.
point of
Yeah,
everything.
self-deprecating.
But if you do have to do a voice match, do you bring her in and you're like, does that what? Because I sound kind of like I
Almost
think I
every
sound
time.
good. Okay.
She's always my objective ear or my objective eye for everything. Yeah, she's my consigliere. She's always right. So yeah.
Well, good. So how are we? Are you guys going to keep playing this? Some of you guys were talking about taking J-Stars home tonight. Is this going to happen?
No.
It's 40 hours long. They got to take it home. They're going to sleep here.
Did Kyle take off? Kyle isn't a part of GT Lifetime. Is he gone? Did he take off for the day?
He might
It's one of
still
those
be in
early
chat.
Kyle days.
He's doing something.
He's
He's
running
doing
GT
something
time.
because he said he was going to
Got
bring something.
rehearsal.
Yeah.
When he
Still
leaves,
will,
when he
'cause he
leaves
didn't get
early,
this
it's usually
exposure
for
to it.
some stand-up.
So there it is. That's an hour. That's GT Live.
That
Yeah,
went
we're
fast.
done. Yeah, blink and it's over.
That's awesome.
So you can we've thrown lower thirds, but you can reach Brian at Brian_T_Delaney on Twitter if you have other questions that you want to just barrage this guy. Come on, it's
Ask
the
away.
time to do it.
I'm new at this, so I
We
answer
only got-
everything.
We only got 5 months before we can spoil
Yay.
absolutely everything from
Yeah.
Fallout.
I'm a
Third time is the
Scorpio.
charm.
I like long walks on the beach. Anything about Fallout that I can answer, I'll answer.
But really quick, just want to talk about some stuff that you guys should check out on Game Trailers this week. As we already mentioned, we have our top 10 Final Fantasy jobs. It's going to be going up on Sunday. They usually go up on Friday, so apologies to everybody not watching the show that shows up on Friday and is like, what happened? We did 4 trailer scores during E3 that I didn't have time to package until recently, and we put those up on Game Trailers and put those up on YouTube. I believe we did Final Fantasy VII Remake, Dark Souls 3, Dishonored 2, and Metal Gear Solid 5. So if you want to see what we scored those trailers, one of those got a perfect 10, but I won't tell you which. You should check out those trailers if you didn't see them already. If you guys are watching this, you were probably watching those live. So, but in case you didn't check those out, and of course we will have episodes of all of our regular shows: GT Time, Mandatory Update, Tabletop Adventures. You can check all that stuff either on the site or later this week. And as I mentioned, we sat down as a group. We made a mission to sit down as a company and figure out what the hell is going on in this crazy game. And we all watched and played it at the same time. And that video will be going up later in the week. And curious to see.
Verdict is probably more positive than it is an hour later.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah, spoilers.
But I kind of hinted at that. I was suggesting like, well, yeah, it's just longevity, because games like Dynasty Warriors is a great example. The first hour and a half of Dynasty Warriors is the best, and then you're like, I'm kind of done.
We're back on Vegetable Island, Brandon.
Huber said he never wants to see this game again.
And then you just drop kick an avocado, and then your opinion totally changes. Wow. It's just not every day you can do that. And those are some fun things you can check out on GameTrailers.com. I invite you to visit GameTrailers.com. You can also follow us on Facebook and Twitter. You can go to where you're at right now, twitch.tv/GameTrailers. You can subscribe there. We have 2 YouTube channels, youtube.com/GameTrailers and GT Reviews. You can check out all of our content. This show will be archived on GT Reviews, so if you want to tell your friends. I'll send you the link anyway. But
Thank you, dude.
youtube.com/GT Reviews. Thank you, Couch. I wrote down Ben Moore, Brad Ellis, and Matt Blair, but I got to throw blood in there. I got to, like Huber's on the couch. At least Willems is wrapped. Just totally. I can't. We're not excited about this game, yet we filled the couch.
Brad, explain this game the way that you just did to us.
Oh, just this.
Right.
Yeah.
That's it.
Square Button the game now available at a store near you.
So should we just upload 20 minutes of that?
Well, thank you so much for really being honest about what you think about this game and for filling up the couch. Thank you, Matt Blair, for chatting with our community and picking up great questions. Thank you, Ian, for working the TriCaster.
Yeah.
And no one more than Mr. Brian Delaney for being badass and Fallout, for doing cutscene theater.
Thank you.
For being as honest as you possibly could. maybe more than you should have about Fallout 4.
Yeah.
Hopefully we didn't
Sorry,
break
I
any
don't get- I hope
embargoes
I
or
don't
get
get
you in
in
trouble.
trouble.
Hopefully, they can bring you back for Fallout 5 and they didn't fire you right away.
Thanks, Brandon.
It was really nice. It was really nice to spend time with you and talk about the game. Obviously, we're really excited about it. And we got a couple months before it comes out.
I know, right?
And thank you everybody for watching. We'll see you next week for another GT Live.
See ya.